Yo, peace up. This is Crumb, Style Elements Crew, Six Step Inc. coming to you live from Miami at the F.A.M. Fest 23rd anniversary. Here with my man, Lego, Flipside Kings. First question, man. On the anniversary, this is your second time doing the anniversary, right?
Second time.
So, your crew's been around for 23 years, started in 94, just like my crew, Style Elements, same era, represent the same, same mindset and breaking. We can get into all that. But why did it take this long for you guys to start throwing the anniversary?
Man, for us, we waited, because we wanted people to fully understand what Flipside Kings meant as a crew, as a family, so we were out there trying to let people know and understand what we stand for, the how we see, how we approach the damn for, the way we move, the way our crew moves in itself. So we didn't feel that until that was told within the crew to the world, we weren't able to make an event yet.
Yeah, it's smart. It's almost like I would like to relate it to judging at events, right? Like, in my opinion, you shouldn't be judging until you've had a certain amount of years, a certain amount of experience, and you can appreciate all styles. And it's the same way with your crews, right?
Right. I mean, it takes time, like everything else. I mean, when you're creating as an artist, you know how long it takes to create something that's masterful, or a masterpiece, if you even want to call it that, So it's the same thing. Same thing goes with dancing. It's the same thing will go with judging, It takes a long time to appreciate other people's style, And we tend to block that off when we're young, We're like, oh, I don't like that style. As you go older, you start telling them, why don't you like that style? And then you start understanding that it's just different movement, and you should appreciate it too. You might not be
not your cup of tea.
Even not your cup of tea. You learn to appreciate it, of course, because it's movement at the same time. It's still movement. It's different movement, but it's still movement.
Word. So I really noticed from these crew anniversaries, these crew events, they have something unique and special that a lot of these other b-boy events don't have. Not to diss any b-boy events, everything serves their purpose, And I feel like the scene is really sensitive these days.
Yeah.
It's a little different in that way too. So you gotta watch how you speak, you know what I mean? When we really shouldn't have to. Give us the uniqueness that you guys bring at this event, from the music to the live acts and even how you pick the top 16 for the competition.
Yes. So just to begin, our format to pick top 16 is there is no preliminaries for us. So you gotta come into the event the day before. It's a 2-day event, so you come in on Friday. Everybody has the chance to come in, so everybody's welcome to be in the competition, but no preliminaries. You have to cipher your way in. So while you're
all night.
So literally, you come in at 6, and you can start from 6 till the last minute of the event, till 11, and all you're doing is having fun ciphering. And we have 5 judges walking around, picking and seeing who rocked the ciphers. The way ciphers supposed to be rocked, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People tend to mistake that ciphers is chill mode. No, ciphers back in the days is where you went in and you killed your best arsenal. And that's what we want to bring back, that feel that we grew up in. In the 90s, it was all ciphers, so.
No number. No format, so to speak, just free flow.
Right.
DJs playing an array of different music, not just, break beats. We're playing breaks, hip hop, up tempo, mid tempo. You got the live band coming on, mixing in with the DJs. So, that gives people the freedom and the rawness, and you put them in a real environment.
Right, that's the goal.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Stress free, do what you want, call somebody out,
stretching.
and it really happens. Exactly, man. And you get loose, and that's when judges get to really see the depth of an individual, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because usually in the competitions, you get your turn to go out one time, and everybody's throwing their best round that they're gonna do in the final battle anyways, if they make it that far.
And the vibe you get it from the cipher. Everybody knows that once you're cipher, there's a certain vibe that you feel that comes into play, So judges get to see that vibe from each individual, which is pretty crazy. There's enough events that do the preliminary stuff, which is cool, It's appreciated. It's another format of battling, But what we want from us is bring that rawness back, that understanding of what ciphering is, that jungle feel, that things that we felt when we were in the 90s, that felt amazing, that made us who we are right now. That's why we approach the dance the way we do. It's that vibe, that feeling that you miss, that we're trying to bring back.
Last question, we'll end it off like this, right? I knew you back in the mid-90s. First time I came to Miami was 1997. Pro-Am, shout out to Pro-Am, Speedy Legs, Zulu Gremlin, big love. Always showed love to the B-boys here in the East Coast. At those events, the rawness of those events and everything, seeing us coming down from Cali, right? Meshing in with Miami and everything. When we came, how did you guys look at us coming in with a different style?
Right, and that's a beautiful question, by the way. So when we first saw you guys, we were in awe, because what happens is it's a total different style than what we're used to. You know what I mean? So when you guys came in, you came in with this sporadic style that we would never seen in our lives. So to us, we got stunned. You know, it's the same thing. What happens back in the 90s is like you knew where everybody was from. You know, that New York had their own vibe, Chicago had their own vibe, LA had their own vibe, Texas had their own vibe, Atlanta had their own vibe, and Miami had their own vibe, you know? So you know the difference, you know where everybody was from, you know? And if you take it to Germany, it was the same way. You take it to Japan, it was the same thing. You take it to China, it was the same way. So what we had in the 90s is that melting pot of differentiating different styles, which was beautiful, you know, which tends to lack nowadays, you know? Why? It's hard to tell, you know, because that's the beautiful thing that we grew up. It was like superheroes, you know what I mean? Superhero within every state, though, you know.
Right.
So,
yeah, differentiated. Each state had their own style, like you said, right?
Yes.
And now it's just you don't know where anybody's from. You know what I mean? Which is that's evolution.
Right.
With your personal style, I see everything, right? The flow, the connections, the well-roundedness, the musicality, right?
Right.
So, what would you like from what you represent to see the millennials, so to speak, implement into their breaking that you may see is missing today?
Right. Well, for me, it's that. You know, it's what I always say in my workshop. It's like people need to do their homework. You need to understand where all types of movement came from. You know what I'm saying? There's so much breaking that's all over the world with so many types of different movement. If you don't do your homework and know all these types of movement, you won't have a starting point. So you're gonna look like somebody else. The difference between our generation is that we looked at all of that. We did our homework. We looked at all these different styles that existed in the world, and we were able to take out what we think was gonna be different and unique for Flipside, for just the crew itself. You know what I mean? And with that, it's like us, you know, like even style elements. I feel like we all have the same style. We all flow, we all connect, we all have levels, we tell stories, we understand punctuality, we understand commas, we understand, you know, all that stuff.
All represent the same thing.
We all represent the same thing, but yet it's different styles. So that just goes to show that we did our homework. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we want for more people to understand that. And do your homework. I mean, and trust me, if you do your homework and you understand all the movement that exists in the B-boy community and B-girl community, you will have a well-rounded idea of where to start to create your own self.
Exactly. Hey, on that note, that's enough. You heard it right here, live from Miami, F.A.M Fest, Lego, Crumb, Six Step Inc. We up out of here, man.